Welcome to this explainer. I want you to picture someone, let's call him David. He's 50, super successful, but literally every single day, right around 2 p.m., he's just staring blankly at his computer screen. He is desperately wishing he could crawl under his desk and take a nap after lunch. Now, if you're relating to David right now, trust me, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating set of source materials to unpack this everyday mystery of afternoon fatigue. We're going to break down exactly what's going on inside your body and, way more importantly, how you can actually reclaim your energy. Okay, let's dive into this. So, David finishes up a delicious lunch, right? And within maybe 30 minutes, his eyelids feel like they weigh 100 pounds. He loses absolutely all motivation to work, his brain gets super foggy, and he just wants to lie down. It's such a common question, especially for those of us navigating our 40s and 50s. Why is it that simply fueling our bodies, eating, makes us feel so incredibly exhausted?
For years, we've kind of been blaming this on all the wrong things. We think, oh, I just didn't sleep enough last night, or, well, I guess this is just a normal part of getting older. But as the source material reveals, the truth is actually far more mechanical. It's a hidden, silent blood sugar roller coaster happening right under our noses. Seriously, it's not a lack of willpower, it's a metabolic reaction.
Section 1, the energy thief, or how glucose enters the bloodstream.
To really get this, we need to zoom into the micro world of our digestive system and look at the everyday culprits. If your go-to lunch is heavy on white rice, a big bowl of noodles, white bread, or maybe washed down with a sweet milk tea or a pastry, well, you're consuming fast-acting, refined carbohydrates. These foods are broken down almost instantly. This means they flood your bloodstream with this massive, sudden influx of glucose. It's literally like a shock to your system. Let's walk through exactly what happens, step by step, when you eat those foods. Number 1, those fast carbs go in. 2, your blood glucose violently spikes. 3, your body goes into an absolute panic and releases a massive surge of a hormone called insulin to yank that dangerous sugar level back down. And 4, a sudden, brutal energy crash. It's like your body speed ran a marathon and then just pulled the fire alarm. So the crucial point here is the classic sugar crash. It's that exact phenomenon of sudden energy loss, feeling totally lethargic, and losing all your focus right after that aggressive blood sugar spike. Once we understand this mechanism, we can stop beating ourselves up about willpower and start recognizing it for what it is, a mechanical failure of how we fueled the engine. Section 2, the blood sugar roller coaster and digestion overload. You know, it's actually not just the sugar spike at play here, it's also the sheer volume of what we eat. When you eat a heavy meal until you are completely stuffed, especially if it's packed with oils and fried foods, your body has to massively shift its internal resources. Blood gets aggressively diverted away from other areas and is forced into the stomach, the liver, and the intestines to handle this huge digestion job. So this temporarily reduces the blood flow going up to your brain, which really compounds that sluggish, heavy feeling we all hate. Moving into Section 3, the brain fog phenomenon and its temporary neurological impact. This is exactly why David feels like his thoughts are moving through molasses at 2 p.m. We call this brain fog. It's that intensely frustrating state where you just can't focus and your motivation evaporates into thin air. The text highlight that this is actually your nervous system being temporarily impacted by that massive insulin spike we talked about. And here's the kicker. If you repeat this cycle daily for years, the sources strongly link it to chronic inflammation and even early memory decline. Section 4, the challenge of your 50s, and what happens when the body changes. Here's the thing. You might be eating the exact same lunch you ate back in your 20s, but your body is responding very differently today. After age 50, our metabolic engine fundamentally changes. We naturally experience gradual muscle loss, our metabolism slows down, and honestly, we just tend to sit more. But the absolute biggest factor here is decreased insulin sensitivity. Your body is simply no longer as efficient at processing glucose as it was when you were younger. Normally, insulin acts like a key. It efficiently unlocks your cells to let the energy in. But in middle-aged bodies, we frequently see insulin resistance. The keys kind of stop working so well. So what happens? The body panics. It pumps out even more insulin to force those doors open, which leads to these wild, exhausting blood sugar swings. It's actually a major early warning sign before prediabetes. I want you to do a quick mental check right now. Do you experience intense sleepiness after eating? Are you getting hungry again really quickly? Constantly craving sweets? Maybe you've noticed an increase in stubborn belly fat, or you're having difficulty losing weight. Listen, these aren't just random annoyances. Our sources indicate these are explicit red flags from your body warning you that your insulin resistance is rising.
Section 5. Secrets to staying alert through daily biohacks.
Okay, here is the really good news. You are definitely not stuck with this. The first biohack is just swapping out the fuel source. Instead of those refined white carbs, start checking food labels to make sure you're getting whole, complex carbs with low added sugars. Think brown rice, oats, or sweet potatoes. For a great lunch menu, maybe try a grilled chicken salad with some quinoa. And hey, instead of reaching for that sugary milk tea or pastry at 3 p.m., snack on some healthy alternatives, like a handful of almonds or a piece of dark chocolate, to keep your metabolism nice and steady. Step 2 is creating a biological buffer by adding in protein and fiber. When you load your plate with green vegetables, lean meats, fish, eggs, beans, or even Greek yogurt, you actually slow down the release of glucose into your bloodstream. It's kind of like putting traffic cones on the glucose highway. These high-fiber foods guarantee your energy is going to remain stable, not just for an hour, but for the entire afternoon. We also have to talk about volume. The rule here is incredibly simple. Eat just enough at lunch. As we discussed earlier, eating until you are completely stuffed forces your body to produce massive amounts of insulin. It heavily burdens your digestive system, dragging all that blood flow down to your stomach and leaving your brain literally starving for energy. So, simple portion control is actually a surprisingly powerful energy hack.
Now, what's really interesting about this next slide is this game-changing biological hack. It's not just about what you eat, but the exact order you eat it in. You really need to eat your green vegetables first. Coating your stomach with that veggie fiber before the rice, starches, or proteins hit your system significantly flattens out your blood sugar curve. It fundamentally changes how your body absorbs the rest of that meal. And that brings us to a very important number in our story of overcoming afternoon fatigue, the number 15. It represents this golden window of time, immediately following your meal, that can completely alter the trajectory of your afternoon energy levels. That 15 minutes is exactly how long you should spend taking a light walk after you eat. Why? Because gentle movement activates your muscles. They start acting like sponges, soaking up that extra glucose directly from your bloodstream without needing huge amounts of insulin. Honestly, when David started taking a 15-minute walk after his meals, his 2 p.m. brain fog completely disappeared. Now, we do need to include a brief medical note from the text here. If you try these hacks and you are still experiencing extreme uncontrollable sleepiness, trembling hands, rapid hunger, excessive thirst, or chronic fatigue, well, it's time to see a doctor. You'll want them to check your fasting blood sugar, your HbA1c, and your insulin levels just to rule out any deeper metabolic issues. But for the vast majority of us, taking control of our meals literally means taking control of our lives. By making these small adjustments, swapping carbs, eating those veggies first, and taking that 15-minute walk, you take back control. Just like David, you can trade that awful afternoon crash for lasting energy, a super sharp brain, and you can significantly lower your long-term risk of developing type 2 diabetes. So, I'll leave you with this. Which single habit are you going to change during your lunch tomorrow? Are you going to eat your veggies first? Will you start checking those food labels? Or maybe you'll take that 15-minute walk. The power to beat the afternoon crash is entirely in your hands. Thank you so much for joining this explainer, and here's to a highly energetic afternoon for you.